Hello guys and welcome back to our Macadel online classes. So here we are making a boho maxi jumpsuit. All right, so this is what I'm wearing here and it's looking so very nice. It's a maxi one and that is what we're going to be drafting the pattern for today. So welcome to our class. My name is Nita, your physical and online instructor, and let's get started. All right, so I'll be working with these rulers. You're seeing my tape and then I have my pattern paper, the length of what I'm going to use. All right, if you know me, you know I keep top lines and then our side line. All right, so keep like 4 to 5 inches at this point. All right, and then draw your line the length of your maxi. Don't forget that as a maxi it must really flow to the floor. That is the beauty, as you saw in that video. Okay, so from this top line is where I'm going to start my measurement, and I'm drafting the front and the back together. That is how it's going to work. So now I'm going to be imputing my vertical measurement starting from my top line. Okay, so first measurement I'm going to be imputing here is my chest line, and for you to get your chest line, of course, you know, is your bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5, so calculate yours. And then the next thing is my bust height from my shoulder to my nipple, my waist, that's my half length from my shoulder to my waist point here, and then my hip depth, which is your shoulder to your hip or your waist to your hip, whichever one works. Now you're going to repeat this measurement on this part just like so that we can have straight lines that are accurate. Okay, all right, so having done this, so you're going to rule your lines. All right, so my chest line, that is what I'm doing now, my bust height line, my waist line, and my hip line. And guys, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Show me some love. Just hit that button right there. And for those that have, thank you so much. You've gotten me here and I'm glad that you're in this class. All right, so let's move forward. Okay, so this is my hip line I'm drawing at the moment, and I'm going to label them so it's easy. This is my chest line, my bust height line, my waist line, half length. So I've written there my waist, and then your hip, where you're going to have your hip circumference. All right, so now we are going to impute our knee length. Please take your own measurement from your waist to your knee. Mine is 24. This is it right here. So you can use between 23. Please just use yours anyway. So mark whatever your knee length is and extend it into a straight line. Please don't get confused. These lines, I've labeled them so that you know what it is. Now, the next line is going to be your crotch depth, which is from your waist to your crotch. Sit on a chair and take your measurement and add 3 inches to it. Please add 3 inches. It's a jumpsuit, so it has to be free. All right, so from your waist, you take your crotch length. Mine is 11 plus 3. I did 14. All right, you can even make it 15. Depends on how loose you want it to be. And then you mark. But please sit on a chair from your waist to the hard surface. Whatever you get is your crotch, or take your hip divided by 4. I mean, it works. And add 3 inches. So this is my crotch depth right here. All right, so let's move on. Now, your full length, remember, is all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to my neckline. My neckline across as usual, that's the width is 3 inches, which is what I'm marking right here. And then my neckline depth is also 3 inches. All right, so you create a curve nicely with your curve ruler, round it. That's what I've done. And then you take your shoulder measurement. So your shoulder divided by 2, I'm using 8. So I'll mark it at the top line and I'll also mark it at the chest line. And then you draw a straight line. Okay, so this is going to be your armhole line. All right, so the next thing, you're going to divide this armhole into 2. Most times I go up 3 inches. I can also divide by 2. Please, whatever you do, just impute it that way. Then come down for your shoulder slant 1 inch or 1.5, depending on what method you're using, and draw the line back to your neck line. Okay, your neck curve, whatever. All right, so after this, what I do, I will draw a straight line from this part to the part I came in half an inch. Remember, where you come up half, I came in half an inch. Before I draw the curve for my armhole, I take my chest divided, or my bust rather, divided by 4, and I mark it. Please do just like you have been doing. You can add your allowances to it if you want, but I didn't add any here just yet. Okay, so let's proceed to our waistline. All right, so whatever your waist circumference is, you take it and divide it by 4 plus, if you want to, like I said, I'm not adding anything because, I mean, what we are going to do is going to make it loose, so you don't need it. So just mark that. And then turn it into a straight line. It will be slant anyway. Just draw your line from your armhole to the waist. And then for the hip, your hip circumference divided by 4, and you mark, just like so. Now, whatever you have here, put it at the crotch. Same thing. So mine is 12.5. The crotch also, I made it 12.5. And then you extend it into a straight line. Okay. Now, once you do this, you now take your curve ruler and curve your hip. Please don't make it straight. I say a lot of people do straight hips. I mean, your hip is not straight, is it? All right. So just curve it just like so. Blend it out, make it look nice. Now you can make this straight just like I'm doing, like if you don't want the curvy part, but it's not necessary. We're going to actually slash and spread this, so it's going to make it open already. So you can do that or you can leave it. It's a choice. That's why I used the pencil. Now at this point of the crotch, please take your round tie, right, just like so. What I'm doing now, round the tie, divide it by 2. Whatever you get, please, from this part, just like I've placed it, from where the hip measurement is, mark it out. Mark it towards you, towards me, just like I did. I marked it towards me. So mark that your tie divided by 2, and then whatever you have, please extend it on this line and mark it just like so. Okay? And then you leave it there. Now extend this line at your hip all the way down. Then here, just place your curve ruler like so and turn it into a curve that forms your crotch. Just like so. All right. So I've done that. So now for your knee part, okay, measure your knee round, divide it by 2, and place the measurement at this point. Now, whatever you're doing here, you're going to do the same thing to your ankle measurement. All right. Remember, I said we are going to slash and open this so it will give it ease. Then extend this line just like so. All right, it's as simple as that. This is one of the simplest things to make, is this Boho jumpsuit, and I would really love to see yours. All right, so let's proceed. Okay, so I've done a straight line here, and then you come back to your crotch part. Take this line just to your hemline and just draw like so. It's fast, it's easy. Now see what I'm doing. I just don't like sharp lines at my waist point, so that's why I've done that. So now I'm adding a pocket to this. Come down 1.5 inches from your waist and mark and right there your pocket. All right, so I'm going to have bust that to this. So I'm going to come down 1 inches. You can come down between 1 to 2, depends on how wide you want this Boho jumpsuit to be. So I'm just taking 1 inch, and then I'm marking my bust distance, nipple to nipple divided by 2, just like you want to mark your dart, right? Put it here. Now you're going to take this line all the way down. All right. Now mark this line, your bust distance divided by 2. I'm using 4.4, and I'm marking the 4 all the way down. Please do so and just extend the line just like so. It's easy, guys. Just watch this video and follow it. Now I'm drawing my bust dart line. Have you seen that? So you came down from your bust height line, come down 1 inch, and then draw it back to that 4, your nipple line that we just drew. It's as easy as that. Now extend this line all the way down. That's going to be your slash line, guys. So make sure that you get it right. Okay. So having done this, now I'm going to be having an extended sleeve. So if you want to, please, if you sleeveless, leave it here. But I'll be having an extended sleeve at this point, right? So now I'm done with the front. Incidentally, I'm going to go to the back. So I'm using the red pen now. I'm coming down just about 1 inch. You can do 1, you can do 1.5. I did 1. All right. And then curve it back to the front neckline that we had, just like so. All right, I've written it there, my back neckline. So use the color marker to differentiate it. I'm going to come out 1 inch. That's going to be for my zip allowance, and I'm going to do so all the way just like I'm doing. Just follow my instructions. You'll get it, all right? And then extend it and close up this at 1 inch, just like I've done. Now, before we bring it down, we're going to move to the crotch, of the back. All right. So for the crotch of the back, just extend here by 1 inch. That's all. Come out 1 inch. You can do 2 if you want. It does not really change anything. So just come out 1 like that. And then take your curve and draw your crotch curve back to the front, center front. Have you seen there? The front center front line, like the middle point. That's just what I've done there. Then we can now close up that 1 inch for zip, just like I've done. Okay, so now you're going to take this line here all the way back to the hem. the 1 inch we extended for the back. So just take it all the way back to the hem. That's all. Just like so. Okay. So yeah, now I'm extending my neckline, my across, because I don't want it choky. So I went in by far. I'm having a V neckline and I'm coming down about 8 inches. Please choose what you want and draw it just like this. That's my V neckline for the front. The back stays as is. All right. So I've just extended my neckline. You can redesign yours. I didn't want it choky. So now I'm going to create the extended sleeve just like I want it. And that's what I'm about doing right now. All right. So before I do any closing of my bust dart and slashing, I'm going to add my 1 inch measurement. I like doing that all around, and I took half down because I mean this already on the floor. So you can add your allowances rather. So you can add your allowances, cut it off. It's easier for me. So when I'm closing my dart, I don't need to do much more. I've already taken care of my allowance. So now I'm joining paper for my extended sleeve. Please, at this point, do what you want for your sleeves. I just chose an extended sleeve. Okay, that's why I added this paper. So before I proceed, I'm going to cut into my bust dart. So just cut off one side. Don't cut off, just cut into where your that point is, like that bust point is, and close your dart just like so. I'm going to move this paper up to the other line and close my dart. It will be looking, the paper will just look like it's not releasing itself. Don't worry. By the time we cut the slash open, it will release that part. So just leave it there. We are closing it so we can create our extended sleeve. That is just the essence. Now, if you're not creating an extended sleeve, you would do seam, even if you're making it sleeveless. Then when we are done, we open up this, it will relax that part. All right. So watch how I extend my sleeve. Measure your sleeve down however you want it. That's what I've done, and that's how long I want it to be. I added just about 6 inches to that, and I extended my line to that point and still come down the same thing I did, 1 inch down, and then I'm going to extend my sleeve that way. So you can do between 1 to 1.5, whatever you want. And then from there, take your round sleeve measurement. After this, I'm marking where I want it to be. I've added my allowances, 1/2 inch for folding. All right. And then I'm taking whatever I want my round sleeve to be. That's what I'm doing. And I'm going to divide this. Whatever you have, divide it by 2. So let's say you have 15, divide it by 2. And mark it all the way down. Now, wherever you get that point, just draw a straight line. I've added my allowances. If you notice, whatever I do, I add my allowance and draw a straight line in. Now, at this point, please, to mark the sleeve, don't take it straight. Just make it slant. Meaning, if it is straight like this, come in 1 inch. Don't place your ruler straight, slant it, just like so. All right? And that is it. Okay. Now, having done this, I'm just confirming what I have, and it is fine. Then I'm going to add a little paper here to create my curve at this point. So I'm taking this so I don't keep taking new papers, and I'll just join it here. So it will give me space to create this curve I'm about doing. All right. So I'm going to create a curve here. So take your curve ruler, place it at this point, and just create a curve. You can come in like 2 inches, 2 inches, and create this curve, but please just create this curve line, just like so. Okay, so that's what I've done, and it's already looking very giving, guys. Okay, so now you're going to add your 1/2 inch allowances at the top, just like I'm doing now. Please always add your half at the shoulder. It's very important. I did not add that. So that's what I'm doing. So once you're done with that, we can now cut it off. So what I'm doing here is just to redraw. Remember, I had extended my shoulder, like my across neckline measurement. I'm just redrawing the neckline back to that. All right. So I'm now going to cut this, trim it off. So just do like so. So just cut, 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 cut. Okay. So just follow what I have done, like I said. And if you have any questions, I always say, please do ask. So now that we are done with this, I'm still going to add my allowances at the crotch part. Remember, I just added my zip allowance, but I didn't add any sewing allowance at this point. So I'm going to do it from here and the inseam. Now the inseam is where the crotch line is, all right? So I'm adding just half an inch all the way down. I've done that and I'm cutting it off, all right? So you can now trim it off like I have done. I added half an inch here also for the back. I didn't add for the front. When I'm cutting the front, I'll just fold off what I have and place it and add half an inch and cut the front. You can copy this out if you want, please, so it doesn't confuse you. So now I've cut into that line. Remember the bust line we kept? I've cut it open because it's now my slash line. And now look at this. It has relaxed where the bust point bust that is. So it has relaxed it. So now I've slashed it open. I'm going to put another paper under it. You can place it this way on your fabric directly and cut. But because it's pattern, I mean, you need to create your pattern and finish up with it. And then you can now put it on your fabric and then cut it off. All right. So that's exactly what I am doing. Okay, so I have now pasted my paper tape all over it, and then I'm going to redraw the down part, the hemline, just like so, give it that curve. And then you remember we had already added our allowances, and then you're going to cut it right off, just like so. Okay. So we are totally done. Normally, I don't cut out the neckline because I'll just place it first, my fabric, and then I can do all of that at that point. So at this point, you can make it like a gathers, just like so, or you can create whatever you want to create with it. Just be creative. All right. And my name is Nita. I am your physical and online instructor. And do subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be seeing you in the sewing class.